Chickenpox, a virus called varicella zoster, is otherwise known as VZV. It's highly contagious and it spreads through direct contact with infected mucus, ew, or from airborne particles, that's the stuff you exhale. Chickenpox can also be spread by contact with the rash that usually develops when ill. The thing to remember about catching chickenpox is that it takes 14 to 16 days for symptoms to appear after catching it. But during that time, people can be spreading the disease. So, a person could catch VZV and not even know he or she was exposed. The first symptoms of chickenpox can include a low-grade fever, aching, headaches, and decreased appetite. The rash often appears a few days later. Itchy red bumps may appear on the back, chest, and scalp. The rash sometimes spreads to the arms, leg, and face. It may spread anywhere on the body, including the eyelids, armpits, and even internally, such as inside the mouth or ears. Some people develop anywhere from 300 to 400 blisters, but totals can range from fewer than 50 in healthy children to over 10,000 in immunocompromised children. Generally, there's no need to go to the doctor for chickenpox. Home treatments include cool baths with baking soda, oatmeal, or cornstarch added to the water, drinking plenty of fluids, wearing gloves or socks on the hands to prevent scratching and infection, and acetaminophen to help with the fever. Do not take aspirin. Doing so can cause Ray's syndrome. But if the patient falls into a high-risk category, such as a newborn, teenagers, or immunocompromised adults, there are a couple recently approved medicines that can cause fewer lesions to develop and cut time for the rash to advance. Up until 1995, getting chickenpox was almost a rite of passage for most American kids. Parents used to have chickenpox parties in order to expose their kids to the virus in hopes that getting it earlier in life would be less serious than if the kids contracted it when they were older. The CDC now recommends that because the disease is sometimes serious, parents shouldn't risk intentional exposure. About 4 million people would get the disease each year prior to the creation of the vaccine in 1995. About 10,600 of those people were hospitalized, and 100 to 150 of those people died. The varicella vaccine was created in 1995. Short of vaccination, there is little a person can do to avoid getting chickenpox because it is so highly contagious. However, the CDC recommends that 2 doses of vaccine for children, adolescents, and adults will be effective 98% of the time in preventing chickenpox.
Created using Powtoon.